I'm disappointed with the consistency of the risotto. It looks, look at the watch when I'm doing it.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy you found us. Today we are talking about color blocking paper for your journals. Color blocking pages for your journals, for your ephemera, for your mixed media, whatever you want it for. We're here to show you how to do it. So come with me and let's color block some pages and other things. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start color blocking is a book page. Because it already has writing on it, it's the simplest thing to start with. And all we're going to do is open our book pages, and I'm going to do this page right here just because I want to. You can use watercolors, you can use acrylic paint, you can use whatever you want. You can even use markers if you want. It doesn't matter. I have some opaque paints that I got at Tuesday Morning a long time ago, and I'm going to use those, but you can also use, like I said, acrylic paints and water them down a little bit, or just use a little bit thinly because you won't be able to see the words underneath, okay? So I'm just going to put a dab of yellow and a dab of green. I might need more than that. I'm not sure. And I'm just going to spread it about halfway on the page. Like I said, you want to be able to see the words underneath. So if you're using full-bodied acrylic paint, you might want to add just a little bit of water to it, or just do it super, super thinly. Totally up to you. Okay. Okay, so there's my yellow, and see how well you can still read everything? That is the opaque paints. Like I said, I got these at Tuesday Morning a long time ago. Opaque paints obviously are colored, but you can see through them really well. Okay, the green, do the same thing. And this is color blocking. This is all color blocking is putting color on a page, and you can do it vertical, horizontal, you can do patchwork, whatever you want. And I always get a little more green than I want, but that's okay. Because as you can see with the green, it's thicker, so it's a little harder to see the words, but you can still see them. And I'll hold that up for you to see. See? It's a little thicker, but you can still see. Now I'm going to dry this real quick, because what we're going to do on top is we're going to stencil on just a little bit of pattern using some modeling paste. If you don't have modeling paste, that's fine. You can use wall putty, you know, that you mud your walls with. You can also just mix a little acrylic paint and baking powder and do it that way. So those are 3 different ways that you could put a little texture, a little depth on this page without having to spend the money for modeling paste. That's totally up to you. Now, that's color blocking right there. You could stop there if you wanted to. But to add another layer, a little more interest, I'm just going to take the stencil, and I'm going to use the pattern of the picnic basket, those little dots, and just do a little more texture on here. I'm using modeling paste, like I said. You can definitely use wall putty that you can buy at Walmart inexpensively. You could also use white acrylic paint, or any color acrylic paint you want to, with a little bit of baking soda mixed in. If you saw my video about the TikTok hack for home decor, that's what I did there, and it gives it a texture like a modeling paint. Like a modeling paste, sorry. So that's an option that you could use too. And that's normally things that we have in our home. That's why I like to try things like that. Because if it gives us a way to do something we love without the cost. I mean, because modeling paste is kind of expensive. I will link this one down below if you are interested in the one I have, but definitely if I didn't have this, I would use the TikTok hack with the baking soda and the acrylic paint. And there you go. A very simple, easy way to color block a page and add a little interest with a little thicker substance on top. Modeling paste, wall putty, or mixing acrylic paint with baking soda. Now, another option you have when you do the color blocking on book pages is you could color block it and then you could draw on it. And that's just with markers. So that is up to you as well. I will link those markers down below. They were the Ecoline brush pens. Just if you're interested, that's what I used to draw that flower inside. So that is one example of how to color block on book pages. You don't have to do a lot of extra because they come obviously with the words printed on. So what you add is all on top. Now, let's say you're using something a little more plain, or you want to add a little more interest to the paper underneath. This is just, you know, graph paper that we use all the time. And what I'm going to do is do a real quick collage on the top. Now this time I'm going to do acrylic paint just so you can see the difference and how thinly you should use it. And I'm going to put the acrylic on the bottom half and the green on the bottom half. Now I'm putting on the yellow, and this is just plain acrylic paint. You can add water to it if you think it's too thick for what you want. But I added the collage underneath because I thought the graph paper just wasn't enough interest for the page. Now let me dry this real fast. Right, so right now we have basic color blocking. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back with the green just up here at the top and do just a little square section. Because it doesn't have to be so, you know, standard. You don't have to do the exact same thing on every page. Different colors, of course. Different patterns. It can all be different. Okay. Now, once you get your color block done on your page, you can come back and add stamping if you want. You can add other types of interest. I'm going to use another stencil. And what you add is totally up to you. It's your, you know, creation. It's what you see in your head. And remember that also can change as you create it. You might start to see different things. So definitely, if you start one way and you end up with something else, don't freak out because that's just the way creativity works, right? Alright. So now you can see I've come in and I've added some interest with some stencils at the top and at the bottom. You could also come in with a different color. I got some blue acrylic paint, and what I'm going to do is come in, put a little bit on a paper towel, and then kind of blot it out and then stamp it around. So there's my blue on my paper towel, and I'm just going to come in here and kind of stamp it around. You can use all sorts of different different textures if you want. It doesn't have to be, it can be stamps, stencils, or whatever. And there you see. Now that's a pretty page and ready to be put in a springtime journal. You can also do this color blocking process on envelopes, on different pages, plain pages, coffee stain pages, any page you want to. It would look cute on an envelope. You could definitely decoupage the envelope with some different materials. And let's just do that real quick while those finish drying. Okay, so I'm just going to glue some papers down real fast and show you how an envelope would look. They're really kind of pretty. So now there's my decoupage. I'm going to trim it up real quick. Okay, now I'm going to color block this, and I think this time I'm going to use some turquoise. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to do the other half yellow because I am going with a okay, there's our color blocking. Now I'm going to dry it real quick. And see, you can still see the music paper under there and the other papers. So that's what we're going for. So there's your color blocked envelope. Now, if you want to add a little interest to it, we're just going to come up here and we're going to draw. Then you can color it with your markers. So I'm going to get my markers I used earlier. I'm going to do pink and green. And then I just color it in. Okay, and then you've got that. Now if you want to add a little more interest, bring your stencil back. And I'm going to use my marker this time in case you don't have paints. I'm going to show you don't need paints to use markers. Then I just added a little stencil on the side. So these are some really cool ways to add interest to journals, ephemera, or whatever you have. So we've gone over a few different ways you could use color blocking. Of course, our book pages where you don't have to do anything underneath because the print's already there. We have plain, we have where we did art, or you could add texture using modeling paste. You could also add texture using wall putty to fix holes, or using baking powder with acrylic paint. I'll link that video. Also, you could use collage and stencils and paint to color block and get an interesting paper. You could also do it on envelopes, tags, and other ephemera of your choice. This also works on canvas if you want to work on a larger scale. I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also be sure and hit that subscribe button and the little bell so you'll know when we have more videos up. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.